Hello everybody, this is Micah here and Simon, and welcome to Food Travelers. And in this episode, we're here at the Royal India Buffet at the Rio Casino in Las Vegas. This is off-strip, and the hours of this operation for lunch buffet is daily from 12 p.m. and to 9:30 p.m.
Yeah, Micah, this was an interesting one. I know this is actually the first time I've also been to the Rio. I believe I've been to like the Palms and the other casinos around. We were to the Palms when we had at the buffet over at the Ace over there. But the Rio, I've always seen it, especially in the past when it was super popular. And I've always kind of heard things about it, but I've actually never visited there until now. And needless to say, my first impressions of the casino aren't too great. It kind of seems like a dead casino to me as we walked in. I did see a lot of the construction and stuff, and they looked like they were trying to kind of wrap things up and get things nice and tidy. But I know as we walked in, we were looking for this place, and we kind of lost ourselves a bit, and we walked around the casino floor for a while looking for it, and we eventually, of course, found it. But that's just something that's stuck to my mind about this place.
Yeah, definitely. As we were coming here, even like when we were taking the Uber, I remember the driver was asking us, "Are you sure you're not going to the Palms?" I was like, "No, we're going to Rio." And he didn't say anything else. And I think he was probably thinking in his mind, "Why are you going to the Rio?"
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I know as we walked around, we just saw lots of closed stores within the casino, and it just seemed like everything was just really flat and dead and wasn't picking up, especially compared to what we saw on the Strip, because that definitely has come back to life compared to the times that we went prior, especially during the pandemic when a lot of things were shut down, and just even going to certain casinos, it just some were closed and a lot of areas were closed. But this seems like it's still kind of stuck in that same section. But my kind of first impression of this place is, you can see it's not a dedicated buffet like we're used to, where you kind of have your section and there and all the stations, everything's built. It's kind of more of these portable stations, and so as you can see through the video if you're watching, all the different pots that they kind of have, and those are all movable pots.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like what the setup is for dinner time. Like, is it the same thing, or do they have something more? I think when we first got here, it was right at the opening time at 12 p.m. And I remember seeing the staff. They're like, "Oh, there's people here now." I think they're excited to see us too.
When we kind of walked in, it was more of a kind of a shocking surprise that some people came in. So we ended up eating there, and we were pretty much alone for majority of the time. There was another group of guests, two people who came in probably about 5 or 10 minutes prior to us leaving, and as you can see in the video, it was empty, but there's lots of seats. And kind of thinking about it, it really didn't have anything to do with the food, because I actually did enjoy the food, especially the naan. The naan they made made to order, so they come in and ask if you wanted naan. They had garlic, they had the regular plain naan, and so they would go make that after you kind of put in your order of what you wanted, and then you'd go pick up all the different buffet items. And one of the things that kind of struck me with this place was generally with Indian food, you get a lot of veggies, different kind of vegetables, because a lot of Indian people tend to be more on the vegan side, or not say vegan, vegetarian side. And in this one, there was actually just a lot of chicken and not really much vegetable, so I was kind of surprised with that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Simon. I thought that was definitely different. I'm not sure if it's because it's Las Vegas and they're kind of catering more to the guests who are visiting, and probably more of the guests who are staying in the hotel are not going to be vegetarian or vegetable eaters. Maybe that's why. I'm not sure either. But yeah, I was definitely looking for a little bit more veggies there. I think the only thing they had was like this one, like, is it like a Caesar salad or something?
I think it's just regular salad, and you put whatever dressing you wanted on it, but that was pretty much the only vegetables that were kind of there available, other than maybe some vegetables that were already placed inside some of the other meat dishes. I think the only thing that I could think of is it's a crisp fried onion, and that's probably the only vegetable dish by itself. And early on, when we were showing the plates, you could see it's just it reminds me of a kind of a blooming onion from one of the steakhouse, the Outback Steakhouse, that has that kind of similar texture and taste to it.
Yeah, I did enjoy all the food and the naan bread, like Simon said. The garlic naan bread was pretty good. I remember we asked for a second order and we got the same thing again, the garlic naan bread. Definitely tried that one, and as you see here in the video, I'm going further. I got I guess like a sauce bowl or dish bowl there, and I added more of the curry sauce to dip into, and that made it a lot more enjoyable for me. I love all the curry sauce and everything to eat with the naan bread.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising because the food wasn't bad. I think for the amount of selection that you kind of get to the price that we paid, it's kind of off. And maybe it has to do with just the volume of people, and so for them to kind of hopefully make any money to kind of have to increase that price. But with the selection, it was just very, very small and for the price, and definitely Vegas, you have a really big selection of choices of buffets to go to, and so it'll be, in this, my opinion, pretty tough for them to kind of compete with that without having that foot traffic that you kind of need, especially being off strip and over at the Rio, and how the current situation is, at least at this time of filming.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking when I was looking around the restaurant, like ambience and the interior of how many seats they have. There's a lot of seats. There's like a back room with, I think, like a private room, and there's another like back room. I don't know if it's outdoor seating or like an extension of the main living area or eating area. I didn't really go back there to take a look myself. I didn't feel it was right to me, but I did see the staff walking back there. I don't know if they're using it as like a rest area or something, but it was definitely there and available if they do have more people coming back.
Yeah, and one of the things I kind of want to know, at least at this time, this was the only available buffet at the casino. So you'll have this Royal Indian buffet, and from walking around down the casino floor, Micah, we did notice that there was I think they called it the World Buffet, but that was under construction, and it looked like they were kind of redoing the insides and getting everything set to kind of reopen that. So probably in the future at some point that will probably open up, and that looks like it's pretty substantial size. It was pretty large from just the exterior things that we saw, but hopefully with some improvements and maybe kind of in the months and years to come, as traffic picks up, hopefully that they can also kind of jump up. But definitely the one thing to kind of notice with this place is just the selection is very, very tiny, but the food was actually pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. I hope they open up more buffets and get more things running here at Rio Casino.
Yeah, me too.
And to wrap up the episode are the notables. Unfortunately for this one, there are none.
If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.